Sharkie Gamer here. Welcome to episode 9 of Prototypes and Unreleased Controllers. So in today's episode we're taking a look at the Logic3 keyboard for the PSP. The keyboard was going to be a 47 key add-on that also doubled as a screen protector for the PSP when it was not in use. This was going to be made by Logic3 and was going to sell for around £20 in the UK when it was first announced around 2005. So let's take a look at the concept image they released during this time, as well as all of its features. So this is the concept image that Logic3 released to showcase their latest PSP accessory. It looks pretty cool, a keyboard that would have made typing either with the PSP browser or email apps much easier. It also doubled as a screen protector when you weren't using your PSP. So how did this work? Well, firstly it plugged into the top of the PSP, and must have had a backing case that clipped on so the keyboard would physically be attached to your PSP. This would allow the keyboard to fold down below the PSP screen for easier access. This is a full QWERTY keyboard that had your standard key set of letters and numbers, but also had an FN key for some second functions. This is a mock-up image of how it would have looked as a screen protector. This would have been handy to protect your screen when not using the PSP. This also means that you would not have to constantly unplug the keyboard from your PSP whenever you decide to put it away. Overall, it looks like it would have been a cool design and would have served the purpose of needing a basic keyboard for the PSP. Although looking at it, I'm not sure how comfortable it would have been to use. After all, how would you use it? Would you have held the PSP normally and tried typing with your thumbs? Would you have held the PSP with one hand and typed with the other? Or would you have physically had to put this on a desk or some sort of surface to make it usable? Hard to tell which way would be the correct way to use it, since all we have to go by is this one concept image. So that was the Logic3 keyboard for PSP. A very cool idea. The PSP could have used a keyboard accessory. I know a lot of people got very excited about this when it was first announced. So then what happened? Why wasn't this released? Well, firstly, this accessory was constantly delayed, and eventually Logic3 cancelled the project altogether. According to Logic3, they eventually cancelled because Sony was unwilling to provide key details about the PSP that were essential to develop this keyboard. One of these missing details were the command protocols essential to get this keyboard to actually function on the PSP itself. After a while of Sony refusing to give these details, Logic3 gave up on the project. A lot of people speculated that because Sony was so unwilling to provide these details, it may have been a sign that Sony themselves were working on developing their own keyboard for PSP. And this idea is actually backed up by another prototype. Let's take a look at that now. This is the prototype Sony keyboard, shown at a very early E3 conference, way before Logic3 had even announced their keyboard. Sony was showing off accessory ideas that they wanted to implement. As I understand it, this was a non-working prototype. It was a clear plastic keyboard that plugged into the top of the PSP, and the keys must have been like touch sensor keys or something similar, not actual keys like the Logic3 keyboard. The bottom line with the Sony prototype is it would have been even more uncomfortable to use. Your hands would have probably constantly covered the screen trying to type with this thing, but it does show that at the time Sony was interested in making a keyboard for the PSP. So that was the Sony prototype keyboard that also never came to be. Sony never officially announced a keyboard accessory for the PSP, even though there was an overwhelming consumer demand for one. So did Sony really withhold details on the PSP from Logic3? Who knows? All we know is that the Logic3 keyboard got cancelled, and we never got a PSP keyboard from either Logic3 or Sony. Another interesting accessory not released. That was episode 9 of Prototypes and Unreleased Controllers. Thanks for watching, guys. I am Sharkie Gamer. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll have heaps more gaming controller and accessory videos up very shortly. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you want to, and if you like this video, hit that like button. Really helps out a lot, guys. As well as feel free to share and favorite, as that helps get my video around. Thanks for watching.